For those people that haven't done my cutting files before, I run you through the whole complete card cutting, and all you need is 10 bags like this, numbered 1 to 10. So as you're cutting your files, you can actually pop the cards that you cut into the different bags, and that way when you come to make your cards, you've actually got everything you need for that particular card to follow the video. I hope that helps. Hi everyone, so here's the cutting file. You will need, I have used the Kaiser Craft Premium CD601 white. It is sort of like a, you can actually see that's your normal white. It's like a winter white. It's like a creamy white. So we only need 1 card of this. You'll need the pink check, the brown sheet with the florals, the pink sheet. You will also need some of this for the wood grain, but before you do that, make sure you cut from the opposite side to that has the kangaroo and this, because these are the 2 round frames that you will be using. You also need this sheet here. Now the green circles, you need to chop this piece out and you cut your green for inside those circle frames out of this green here, and you'll need a few bits down the bottom here, some of the words and a couple of the tickets here and that postcard there. And I will this is the floral sheet that you will be, so if you want to stop the video, you can actually see I have actually got them there, but I will take a more detailed photograph of this so that it's up close for you. Okay, let's start our cutting. Now this sheet here is the one that I've used the most, so we are going to trim that off at 12 inches. So we get rid of that border. So now you need to turn your paper. We've just trimmed the bottom off here. So you need to turn this so that your floral goes in first. And you need to cut that at 6 inches. Pop that down to the side. Now the card that's left on your cutter, which has this little bit of floral and the brickwork, you need to turn that landscape. Now you're going to cut that at 8. And 4. So you've got your 3 cards. Now the patterned one, pop to one side back on your cutter. Take the other 2 and you've got the one with the paper into number 6 and the plain one is number 3. This one here, you need to turn it landscape and cut that in half at 3. This one here is 10C. This one here goes into number 9, and you need to trim this to 3 inches by 3 3/4. So turn it landscape and cut down at 3/4, and then that is ready for number 9. Now we'll deal with this card here. Now this one's a little bit tricky, so you'll need to cut this. So put your floral through the cutter, and you need to cut that at 4. So pop that down here. So this one here, I need you to cut at, I will measure this for you, at 9 3/4. That is the most important cut with this. Now pop this to one side because I think we use that. Now what we need to do now is to just spin that card around and cut that at 6. I think this is the easiest way of doing this. Cut this at 6. Pop that card here. That card there goes into number 1. Now this card here, pop it back in so that you've got your mesh on this side, and cut that at 3 1/4. Now spin it around again to the piece that you've just cut and cut that at 3. So you're just chopping off that piece because I just wanted the wire. Now that goes into 5D. Sorry, that goes into 5A. Now we'll start chopping our pieces. And no, I didn't use that, so that goes into waste. Now, here is the brick piece that I've used for 5C, which is here, this piece here. So we need to chop that at, I'll measure it for you, 5 inches. Pop this piece down here. Now we need to turn it around. And you need to chop that so that the brick piece is here at 2 3/4. That goes to waste. So that piece is this piece here. So that's it. So you can put the rest of that card to waste. I'm just checking to make sure I don't have any more on my board. No, so that goes to waste. Okay, so now we go to our pink. So once again, chop your bottom, and this one's really easy to work with because you know what your bottom is. Okay. Just remembering that you're going to use a lot of these florals here. So don't chop into those whatever you do. Okay, so we need to now put the florals through your cutter so that the brick is on your left-hand side, and you will be cutting this at 6 all the way across. So now you need to turn that landscape with the biggest part of the bricks to go into your cutter at the bottom and into the cutter. So you need to do your first cut at 6. So you'll end up with 2 pieces. Now this piece that's left up here, turn it round into your cutter. And do your first cut at 4.5. This piece goes into number 6. Now you need to put that into your cutter. Just let me measure this. And turn it, just cut it at 4, like that. That goes into card number 9. So we now grab this piece again, and you will be cutting this straight down at 2 inches. So you've got the brick at the bottom. So you'll end up with 2 pieces, 2 inches and 4 inches. This goes into number 4. Sorry. This goes into number 3. And this one with the bricks is number 10A, and we need to trim that at, I'll measure it for you, 3 3/4. Just check to make sure that fits. So I think we need to chop, just go back in and take an eighth of an inch off. So the measures all up are 3 and 5/8 by 2 inches, and that will fit perfectly into that card. Now we have one last cut from this pink card, which we need to take out of this area here. And that card measures 2.5 by 3 3/4. So I think we might cut it from here. I'm just going to cut this big chunk out like that. And take that card. Now we needed that to be 2.5 going to get the straight edge. 2.5 cut down, then turn it, and it's 3 1/4. Then that card there goes to number 4. So as I said, you've still got all your florals to use for your cutter parts. Now, you also need, from your wood grain, you need a 4x6 piece cut with, doesn't matter how your grain works. I liked mine sideways. Then you need to cut your 2 round frames from this. So make sure when you cut this, it's from the top of that sheet. Now you don't need that anymore, so that can go. And this goes to number 8. So also from the wood grain, you need to cut, I'm going to do it here. I'm just checking from the bottom here. So you need a squareage of 3 3/8. So just count your 3/8, 1, 2, 3, and sort of make a slice. Then turn it, and you need this piece you've cut here, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Right. It just means that when you've got your photo mat, you have got quite a nice thick border, and this is for card number 2 that we'll be doing. So now we go on to our brown sheet. So the florals are at the top, so we'll measure that to make sure that's 12. Chop the bottom off. Slide it through and cut at 6. There we go, at 6. Then turn this card landscape, and you're going to cut this at 8. And 4. These are your base cards for card number 2. Sorry, card number 4. Card number 7. And card number 8. So this here is all the florals for your cut apart sheet. Okay, now this is a photocopy of the sheet, so you need to cut this at 6. Way so I can actually do it. Your first cut is at 7. All of that paper there is to use for later. 7. 6.5 is the next cut. The next cut is at 4. Just leave those aside for the moment and turn that landscape and cut in half at 3. So you've got 5C and 10A. These little ones here, you need to trim to 5 3/4. So just trim them off. This goes to number 7. And the next one that you've done goes to number 3. So our last card, yes, I have done an easy cutting this time. Nothing hard here. So cut this at 12. So you're going to cut this at 8 and at 4. Turn that landscape. You will cut this at 9, 6, and 3. So these cards will be going to I'll write them for you. 5B, 5C, 10B, and 10D. Sorry, that is 5D. So we've got 5B and 5D, 10B and 10D. So now we are going to cut this one again, and you repeat. So you cut at 9, at 6, and at 3. So we have our first card goes to number 2. Our next card goes to number 3. So we've got 2 and 3. We have number 7, number 2. Then this last one you need to pop into your cutter and cut at 6. Now we'll be trimming both of these down. This one at number 6, you need that 3.5 by, so that's 3.5 times 5.5, and this goes to number 8. So we trim that down to 3.5 by 5.5. This last one is for number 9, and it is 3.25 by 4.25. So work out your 3.25, turn it landscape, and do your 4.25. And there is card number 9. So there you have all the cards necessary for making this layout, and the video will be up very, very shortly, so that you can complete. So all the ephemera and everything else comes from the pack. Just one sheet of cardstock is required. So let's get on with